In a forgotten Igbo village, the river dried and the land cried for mercy. Then, on the night of a blood-red moon, twin boys were born, one blessed by light and one cursed by shadows. They were told only one would live to save their people. But what if love defied the gods? When the moon reached its highest, the twins held hands, and at midnight, they swapped souls. From that moment, nothing in the village would ever be the same again. This is the story of the brothers who tricked destiny itself. The moon hung low over Amaife, a small Igbo village surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth. The air was heavy that night. Even the crickets refused to sing. Inside a small mud house, Mama Adaeze cried out in labor. Her husband, Papa Chuka, paced outside, whispering prayers to the ancestors. Then, a cold wind blew through the room, though every window was shut. Two cries filled the air. Twins, born under a blood-red moon. The midwife trembled. These children, she whispered, carry the mark of gods and shadows. One had a flame-shaped birthmark on his chest. And so they were named Obi and Eze, one born of light, the other of mystery. As they grew, the twins were inseparable. Obi was calm and thoughtful, Eze wild and curious. Together, they fetched water from the stream, roasted yams by the fire, and sat under the moon listening to stories of ancient spirits. But strange things followed them. Goats broke loose when they laughed, and rain fell only where they stood. The village priestess, Mama Ugo, warned, "When the red moon returns, your destinies will divide." Papa Chuka brushed it off, but at night he saw their bodies glow in sleep, one gold, one blue. He said nothing, but fear grew quietly inside him. One evening by the Aloma River, the twins laughed, skipping stones across the surface. But then, Eze froze. His reflection smiled before he did. A woman's voice drifted from the water, soft, ancient, and sad. Eze, child of the red moon. Obi pulled him back, heart pounding. The river rippled and a figure arose. A woman with skin like moonlight and eyes older than time. "A drought is coming," she said. "Only one of you can calm the gods." Then she vanished. The boys ran home, frightened but silent. That night, they dreamt the same dream. The village burning, one bathed in gold, one swallowed by shadow. The drought came slowly. Leaves yellowed. The river turned to dust. Drums fell silent. The people gathered under the great Iroko tree, their faces drawn. Mama Ugo raised her hand. She said, "The gods demand a sacrifice. Two born under the red moon cannot share one destiny. One must return to the ancestors." Mama Adaeze cried out, clutching her sons. The sky thundered. Mama Ugo said, "When the moon bleeds again, the gods will choose." That night, Obi whispered, "Maybe it won't come." But Eze stared at the sky. The moon never forgets. The drought worsened. People stopped greeting the twins. Even their friends hid away. Obi's glow grew softer. Eze's shadow deepened. When Mama Ugo visited again, she said quietly, "Sacrifice is not always punishment. Sometimes it is love in disguise." She handed them cowrie shells. When the moon turns red, One must give, one must guard. Thunder rolled. The air felt like breath held too long. Then, one night, silence fell. The moon rose, red again. The whole village gathered in fear. The river began to move, though no rain had fallen. The same river spirit appeared. "The time has come," she said. "Only one may cross between worlds to save your people." The twins stood side by side. Their cowries burned in their hands. Lightning flashed. The air split. The red moon shone brighter than ever before. That night, the brothers sat together outside. "Why must it be us?" Eze whispered. "Because we were chosen before we were born," Obi replied. Her mother wept beside them. "Let me go instead." But the wind answered, "Only the sons of the red moon." Eze turned to his brother. "Then we'll trick destiny itself." Obi smiled faintly. "Together? Together," Eze said. The gods, somewhere beyond the clouds, seemed to laugh. Before dawn, they walked to the shrine of Ani, goddess of the earth. The path was silent except for their footsteps. Mama Ugo met them there. "Beyond this gate, no mortal may go." The shrine looked like a giant woman carved from stone, eyes closed, mouth open. Mama Ugo drew chalk lines on their foreheads and whispered, "When the moon kisses the river, your fates shall cross." The twins stepped forward. The earth opened and swallowed them whole. They awoke in another world. The river glowed blue. Ancestors' faces floated above the water, smiling and crying. "Where are we?" Eze asked. "Between the living and the dead," Obi said. Then a deep voice thundered, "Why have you come?" The goddess Ani rose from the mist. "To save our people," Obi answered. "Then prove your hearts are one. Trade your souls before sunrise, or Amaife will perish." The twins stood before her trembling. She handed them 2 glowing gourds. "Drink, and your souls shall change places." Without hesitation, they drank. The world spun. Their eyes glowed, one gold, one blue. Then silence. They awoke on the forest floor, rain in the air. Eze's hands now glowed with Obi's light. Obi's eyes burned with Eze's fire. They had truly swapped souls. When they returned, the people rejoiced. Rain poured for the first time in months. Crops grew again, but something strange remained. Obi's shadow no longer followed him. It stayed close to Eze, as though refusing to let go. The gods had been tricked, but not defeated. Months passed. Obi became weak. Mama Ugo visited, her face sad. She said, "When souls are borrowed, balance must be restored. One cannot live long in another's light." That night, the wind howled like grief itself. Obi held his brother close. "Then I will give mine back," he said. The next morning, they returned to the river. The spirit appeared again. The river is still thirsty. It demands one life. Obi stepped forward, but Eze stopped him. "Take me instead." The spirit studied him. "Would you give your soul twice?" "He is my brother," Eze said. "My other half." Lightning burst across the water. Eze's reflection faded. The river calmed. Obi fell to his knees, calling his name, but only silence answered. Years passed. The village healed. Obi became a healer. quiet and kind. Each night he sat by the river whispering to the wind, and sometimes it whispered back. On a pale night he heard Eze's voice again. "I'm not gone," it said softly. "I walk where you cannot see." Obi smiled through tears. "Then we are still one." Years later, he told the story to children by the riverside. He said, "Two brothers were born under a red moon. They faced the gods, traded hearts, and brought rain to the land." The children listened, wide-eyed. The moon rose white that night, calm, gentle. A soft breeze brushed Obi's face. When the children turned, his mat was empty but warm. They said two fireflies hovered there, one gold, one blue, dancing together beneath the white moon. And so, even when the gods demand balance, love always finds a way to return home. And that is how two brothers traded their souls to save an entire village. But in every corner of Africa, there are still stories waiting. Stories whispered by firelight, carried by the wind, and guarded by the ancestors. If this tale touched your heart, imagine the lessons still untold. Subscribe to African Folktales by Samobaba, where every night we bring our heritage to life. Stories of love, sacrifice, and destiny, told in the voice of home. So, before the fire goes out, hit subscribe and let the next story begin.